What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video we're going to be playing with another Herald of Perfection based deck. This time, this is something that was actually sent in by a subscriber by the name of Michael Jarvis. He sent this into my Facebook fan page, and I figured it saves me a lot of work having to try and actually make one myself, because I do have my own ideas and theories for how this deck should be built, but I just haven't put together anything or extensively tested it yet. But he sent this into my fan page and said, why don't you give this a try, see if you like it. I mean, it was on my calendar of events to test out the deck using Ritual Sanctuary as well as Terraforming, because Ritual Sanctuary is very much like a Dragon's Ravine for this type of deck, specifically because you can access Benton and use Benton to search for either Herald of Perfection or Star Scepter Sovereignty or Scepter or Manju. You get access to so many of these cards. Now, your fairy lineup is really small in this deck, but that's absolutely fine, because of the fact that you have so many search cards and accessibilities into these other cards. Now, Triple Saphira might not be the move, but this apparently, I don't know if this is a template or not, or if it's an actual build that he refined and sent in or something like that. But it looks pretty decent, and I just wanted to play with it for a possible one-off video. I might actually do a deck doctor on this. I have not decided as of yet if that's going to be something that I decide to do, but there's a lot of 3-ofs that I think are possibly unnecessary. They could also just be bumped up into other cards, maybe cut a Saphira and him a light for Max C's, because Max C with Herald is actually really strong. Potentially things like Honest or something like that, but the rest of the deck, everything is really heavily accessible through Benton, getting your Scepter Sovereignty play moving, getting your Manju, getting your Herald of Perfection, pre-prep and prep. All these different things are really, really cool, and the accessibility you have in the extra deck to a bunch of different cards is actually really neat as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna really ramble much any more about this deck. I'm just gonna let the game that I play speak for itself, so hopefully we can get a good one. Alright, so let's see if this is something that's decently workable with, shall we? I have to play in unranked, so that could be a problem, but it is rather late at night, so experience has told me that the try-hard community of people that play Cosmos and other meta at least inspired decks, they play in unranked this late at night. But I've got Manju, pre-prep, and Saphira, so this lets me actually and I've got instant fusion too. I think this is actually just really strong. I think this allows me to get Herald and Saphira on board, as well as have a fairy cheer girl potentially. This would just obviously be better if I had a Ritual Sanctuary as well, but I'm not complaining here. Let's see, Hymn of Light, because that actually inherently protects the Herald of Perfection. Wish I could have opened this with the other build that I played. Jeez. But I get to Dawn of the Herald here. Yeah, okay. So Dawn of the Herald, ditch the Saphira, and then the Dawn of the Herald gets to add back that Saphira, and then I get to use I can instant fusion here, and the problem is I don't have another monster. That's the issue. That is the issue of the hour. Now, the question is, do I want to just try and draw with Cheer Girl, or would I rather I'll just instant fusion and get a body on board so I can use this Saphira, because I can potentially draw into I can potentially draw 2 cards, and then that will allow me to potentially draw 2 and then discard this instant fusion out of my hand. That definitely wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Ritual Sanctuary would have made that busted though, so there's that. But yeah, so I guess I'll just end my turn here, and I'll use this. I'll try and draw 2 and discard 1, so hopefully I draw 2 fairies. I drew 1 fairy. Interesting. But I've got Ritual Sanctuary, so there's that. So I will discard this instant fusion, because Thousand Eyes Restrict isn't really the best, honestly. I think I would rather play just another level 4 instead of that, because that literally does almost nothing. So there is that. I'm not afraid of this Odd Eyes in any form or function. That is a monkey board though, and that monkey board can get negated. Oh wait, no, its scale becomes 4. So I'm actually okay with that. Its scale will become 4. So there's no Pendulum Summon that can happen here, unless he clears his scale somehow, which he can't do because of the fact that Wavering Eyes is banned. So the only way he could actually clear his scale is through Pendulum Sorcerer that I'm seeing. But I could just be incorrect. But, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use Herald of Perfection. I'm going to ditch this Benton on this to negate it. And then I'll be able to use Saphira in the end phase to add the probably the Manju back, just because that gives me an extra body on board. That seems like the proper move. Saphira plus Herald on the board is just so strong. So strong. So incredibly strong. That it's absolutely ridiculous. I could actually just draw 2 and discard 1 too, and I'm actually like okay with that being a thing, potentially, because if I draw 2, discard 1, that gives me more things to use, especially if I draw like something else. Let's see. He added Odd Eyes Unicorn. Do I want to draw 2, discard 1 just to power through into my deck? Yes, I do. I'm going to draw 2, discard 1. That's a Herald of Perfection, and that is a Scepter. So I'm going to discard this because I've got Ritual Sanctuary, so I want to actually keep like plays moving and up. Benton, that's actually really good. So I've got 2 fairies here, which means I could normal summon this, get Sovereignty, and that keeps me at 2 fairies. And then the Ritual Sanctuary itself could be another fairy if I draw another spell card, so I'm definitely keeping the Form of Negations up. That's definitely something that's happening. Now, if he has if he has more than 2 high scales, that could be a potential problem. Or if this is a strike, that could be a problem. This deck is inherently very weak to Solemn Strike because of the fact that you just strike the Herald of Perfection, and it's like, you get to save it with Hymn of Light. That's definitely something you get to do, but it's still not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. And I didn't send any light monsters from hand or deck to grave this turn, so I don't get to trigger this, which is a problem-ish kind of thing. But I think we're fine. I think we're just fine to end because I've got 2 negations. Saphira gets to add back more cards. So yeah. So I'm really glad that I actually am finding one of the people that like tryhards in unranked with like Odd Eyes Unicorn, or not Odd Eyes Unicorn, just the Performapal deck in general, because I would love to play against meta things with this deck while being able to just do other nonsense. So Sky Arc, do I even care about that, or do I just want to let him pop a card? You know what? I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of that simply because I do get to add cards back off of Saphira. So if he has another high scale that actually works with Monkey Board, he has to have like Odd Eyes Unicorn or Turtle or Monkey Board, or not Monkey Board, Lizard Draw. So okay, he's just setting cards. Awesome. I'm really curious as to what these cards in his hand are, but I'm gonna use this, and I'm actually just going to no, not discard, add a light monster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna add back, Manju, because Manju can get Benton. And if I draw, well, this actually gets a spell. So yeah, Manju is actually just the best card to get back here, because if I draw a spell or a ritual monster next turn, then I'm able to just do some things with Ritual Sanctuary, in the form of being able to tribute off like Benton for something. Or I could just use Twin Twister, discard this, and that would be that. Decisions. But I've got, so let's see, I've got 4 spells in grave, which means I could actually revive the Sovereignty. There is definitely that. I can normal summon this, make Fairy Cheer Girl. Actually, that's actually a neat play. I could normal summon Manju, get my search. I can get my search for just a card in general. Probably another Hymn of Light, just so I can put it in grave and like protect the Herald of Perfection more. So there is that. Or wait, let's see. I have to send a light monster from hand or deck to grave. So I'm gonna add one. Alright? I'm gonna add a Saphira. Because what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to Twin Twister this away. And because of that, this will trigger in the end phase, adding a card back. And then this is gonna be getting me another search as well as a draw. Because I can just make Fairy Cheer Girl here. And I'll be able to use Ritual Sanctuary to shuffle back 4 spells and bring back Scepter. So I really like this string of plays. I really like what I'm able to do here. If I draw Sovereignty, broken. Absolutely insane. If I draw Sovereignty, I might just overlay with these. Like, you don't understand. I might actually just overlay with them. 100%. Because he'll go to 3 cards in hand, and I'll have potentially 2 negates. Okay. Well, I do have 2 negates. So there's that. So what I'll do is I'll activate this, and I can use its second effect to shuffle spells back. And so what I can do then is I can actually use Twin Twister on that, but I'll activate this. I'm going to special summon. I'm going to special summon my Scepter, and I'm going to shuffle back pre-prep and the instant fusions. Oh, I have to shuffle back all 4 of them. Okay, so the Hymn of Light actually goes back to the deck. That's actually problematic. I should have Twin Twistered first. because then I could have shuffled back the Twin Twister. Okay. I'm kind of okay with this to the degree of that's terrible. Why are you playing red eye dice in this deck? That's really not good. It's not good for me either. But I do get to attack him with these things, and I can just Twin Twister his scales away. So there is definitely that. That's definitely the option. So he's playing Odd Eyes Performapal with Speedroids. Interesting. I guess? Maybe? I don't know. I'm just basically locking this game down because I've got Twin Twister now as well. So I have no negations on Herald of Perfection, which is a slight problem, but it's fine because I get to Twin Twister his scales away. So there is that. I get the Twin Twister, discard the Saphira, and then the Saphira gets to add back a card. So that's fine, because there's literally no other one-card scale in this deck other than Monkey Board. So if he sets a card and passes, is he just going to pass his turn? He is. Alright, well, I'll just go ahead and Twin Twister this then. I'll just go ahead and get my free cards, because... Is that another Twin Twister? Wow. Alright. So I can draw 2, discard 1, which I will definitely do. I want to get into another Ritual Sanctuary. There it is! Alright, now Ritual Sanctuary can bring back... oh my god. Whoa. Alright. So, I can actually add... a card. Can I use both effects? I can use each effect once per turn. Yes, I can. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use Ritual Sanctuary. I actually have a Fairy Cheer Girl effect too. This is great. This deck works like a charm. This is amazing. I love this. So I am going to search. Did it shuffle those cards back as a cost? Yes, it did. Alright. Well, slight issue, maybe. Who knows? But this will search for another Benton. Yeah, Benton. Because I'll search Benton. I'll play Prep. I'll add Herald just because there's another negation, and then I'll be able to do stuff like that. I'll actually be able to summon another Herald this turn if I want to, or another Saphira. But Herald is the one that the spell card is in the graveyard for. So yeah. So I'll just do Dawn of the Herald. I'll add Dawn of the Herald back from grave. And I have 10 in grave, and how many of them are spells? More than enough. 4. Alright. So I can shuffle Prep back. That's actually really cool too. You can shuffle Preparation to Rise back. That is so neat. This deck is so neat. I love this entire mechanic. I love this entire, I love everything that Ritual Sanctuary lets this deck do. It's always just the best. It's always just the greatest. So I'll just shuffle these 4 back, and I'll just get the special of my Scepter, and then the Scepter will search Sovereignty, and so now I have 3 negates for Herald of Perfection in my hand, to which I could have actually summoned another Herald of Perfection search Sovereignty, but my board is way too flooded at this point. At this point in time, it's way too much actual monster presence. But he's got 1,200, he's got 1 card in hand, and I've got 4 different negations, or 3. 3 different negates, so I guess we'll just go with this. Yeah, this seems alright. I really like this. I'm actually probably going to play another video with this deck, because, we're already at, 11 minutes in this game. So, I guess I'm just okay with leaving it here. But I will definitely play another game with this video. I think I actually will deck doctor this and, tweak it around, because I think the deck functions very, very nicely as it stands already. I think the deck functions very, very well. But I feel like it could be tweaked to be just a little bit better. I really like the aspect that Ritual Sanctuary gives the deck. You have a very low fairy count, but you have a very high accessibility into it because of Ritual Sanctuary being an additional 6 monsters, essentially, because it is Dragon Ravine. The card is literally Dragon Ravine for this deck, specifically, and I like any deck that has that sort of thing going for it. I don't know why. I just like decks that have really good field spells and really good, search capacity out of those field spells. I don't know. It's just been something that's been a thing with me ever since I read Dragon Ravine. I've always liked those sorts of cards. But anyway, other than that, I am going to play at least one more game with this video, and then I might, do a deck doctor video on it and tweak it around. Maybe. Who knows? It depends on if it's something that you guys are interested in seeing, because I can't wait for this support to come out, honestly. Ritual Sanctuary is one of my favorite cards that I've ever seen printed, and, the fact that it does this sort of thing for this deck is actually really cool. I might actually, experiment with this a bit further just to see how far it can be taken in terms of making it the best deck you can possibly be. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description to my Facebook and Twitch links. If you want to send me a deck for me to play for these videos, then send a deck list to my Facebook fan page. Links in the description, as I've already said. If you want to support me, clicking ads on my videos and disabling ad block when you view my videos is the most effective way to support me, and it's the best way to support me, and it helps me out more than I can ever express. If you have an ad block enabled, if you could just take a few seconds, disable it, refresh the video, click an ad or two, and then put the ad block back on when you're done. It takes seconds out of your day, takes no money out of your pocket, and it helps me out so much I cannot express. I'm in a really weird position in life right now, and every little bit of support helps. I'm sure you guys can relate, because life is the bitch. But other than that, that is it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this deck in the comments down below, as I may have already said. And as always, guys, take care.